Part 2 of this big Superman retrospective. This is going to start with the Christopher Reeve movies and make its way to a solid animated series in the mid-90s. Superman the movie is a classic. One thing I love here is the duality of Christopher Reeve's performance. You see him as both Clark Kent and Superman respectively. From that iconic theme music to some incredibly captured sequences, all brought together by Richard Donner's excellent direction, this solidifies my opinion that it's the best Superman film we've gotten to date, and Christopher Reeve is the best actor to have donned the cape. There are two versions of Superman 2 to discuss. First is the theatrical release from director Richard Lester. This does lean a little more into comedy, but I do think it's a solid sequel. I like seeing Terrence Stamp as Zod lead the pack of villains. The presence of Lex Luthor is definitely welcomed. And here, Lois would start to suspect that Clark is Superman. Sure, some of the moments regarding that are a little silly, but this does also boldly go to Clark revealing to Lois that he's Superman. But as far as I'm concerned, the Donner cut is where it's at. This one definitely reflects a better vision from Richard Donner, one that leans more into the mythology of Superman. It's just a better crafted, tighter approach to the sequel. For me, the best part of Superman 3 is the Superman versus Superman angle. I really feel you could have crafted a whole movie out of that leads to that iconic fight in the junkyard. And I love Richard Pryor. He's very talented. I know he was really interested in being in a Superman movie, but a big issue is just that this leans more into being a Richard Pryor comedy vehicle and builds a Superman movie around all of that. Just a year later, they would rely on the popularity of this IP by doing a Supergirl movie. As a kid, it amused me mainly because I had a crush on Helen Slater, but is this movie good? Not at all. And well, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace isn't really any better. It's bringing back all the classic elements of Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, but Nuclear Man is such a lackluster villain, and John Cryer as Luthor's nephew for comic relief doesn't do this any favors. Between 1988 and 1992, there would be a TV series called The Adventures of Superboy. It details a young Clark Kent and Superman, and I have a lot of memories of watching it as a kid, but I don't really yearn to go back to it. I could honestly never get into Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. I understand its popularity, definitely shows how much they were relying on television for the character at this time, but it never really stood out for me. I do appreciate it for what it is though. But Superman the Animated Series is my jam. Around the time we were also getting Batman the Animated Series, this was a welcomed addition. A solid animated series that ran from 1996 to 2000. I have plenty of memories with it. I even went back and watched a number of episodes recently, and my friends, it is still gold.